People who are allegedly so smart can be so dumb. Harvard students who signed a letter blaming Israel for the Hamas terror attacks, well, they're backtracking after more than a dozen CEOs said they're not going to hire any of them.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Let's go ahead and check in on the leftist tolerance on campus here from the University of Washington. What are they doing? Oh, they're having a pro-terrorism rally. No peace on stolen land. No peace on stolen land. Oh, really? This is after 20 Americans were killed. Oh, there's one solution. The one solution is an Intifada revolution. Intifada, of course, the killing of all the Jews and the restoration of an Arab state in Israel. That's the one solution. What does that remind me of? Interesting. So, yeah, there's your modern day leftist movement. And of course, this is not an isolated situation. This is happening all across campuses. And by the way, there were like a dozen or more Americans murdered by Hamas. And they are celebrating the murder of Americans. So yeah, not great. But you know what? If you F around, ladies and gentlemen, you shall find out. Because what's interesting is that being a supporter of a terrorist organization is probably not a great career trajectory for you. So it'd be terrible if people found out who you actually were. And leftist students are actually starting to find out who they're actually supporting now. Leftist Jewish students. Jews in America support the Democrat Party like 70% of the time or more. And so this is a voting bloc that hugely supports Democrats, yet some of their young liberal activists are beginning to realize, wait a second, I am supporting a movement that wants to kill me.
They want our people dead. They want us killed.
And so part of
They want us dead.
How are you allowing it? They want us dead. Please end it, please.
Yeah, please end it. Why are you allowing this? Yeah, okay, got it. You know, I wonder if that, what are the probability that that student posted a black square for BLM? 100 out of 100. That's the answer. And then what does BLM do to pay her back? That young Jewish student weeping? Because literally that's what they're saying here. The final solution is an Intifada revolution. Oh, BLM pays her back by posting hero footage. Paragliders that come in to rape and murder and kill. Who knows? Maybe members of her family. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. University of Washington and Georgetown students spark outrage. An event honoring the martyrs of Palestine who slaughtered 1,300 in Israel, leaving distraught Jewish students sobbing. Oh my. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you F around, you shall find out. So let's head over to Harvard, right? So if you were to ask people what's the most famous American institution, educational institution, it's certainly not the University of Washington. It's Harvard, right? It's not Georgetown. Harvard is like the king of the Ivy Leagues, as it were, right? And so what is Harvard's stance on this issue? Well, check this out. Large number of Harvard student organizations blaming Israel solely for the Hamas terror attacks, killing, well, this is an outdated number, but now 1,000 plus civilians. Can't imagine who would want to identify with such a group. Harvard parents, talk to your educated kids about this. Here's the list here of Harvard Jews for Liberation. Got it? Okay. All right. Harvard undergraduate Nepali student organization. The number of people. Joint statement by Harvard Palestine Solidarity Group. Yeah, okay. So the mind virus rots all the way through. But you know what also rots all the way through is the chances of you having a successful career after endorsing a terrorist organization. These kids are now being doxxed. Good. Now I want to state very clearly that, as somebody who expresses my opinions day and night on the internet, that it's good to express your opinions. And there shouldn't be criminal opinions in this country. That's certainly not the way that this country was founded. But what you should have is the ability to know what these people's opinions are, back them up, and you should be able to stand up to the criticism of your opinions in the public square. I literally do this. It is my profession. And so if you wish to support a terror organization, well, I suppose that's your right up to a certain point when you become a criminal. But if you wish to back a terrorist organization, fine, immoral, wrong, but is it criminal? I mean, I suppose not. Not unless you're committing the terrorism. So, but you're not free of the consequences of your actions, much like I am not free of like a ratio online when I say something stupid, which also happens regularly. So Bill Ackman is a billionaire investor. He said, I've asked a number of CEOs if Harvard would release a list of the members of each of the Harvard organizations that issued the letter assigning sole responsibility for the heinous acts, Hamas's heinous acts in Israel, to ensure that none of us inadvertently hire any of their members. In fact, their member support, a letter released, the names and signatories should be made public so the viewers actually know. One should not be able to hide behind a corporate shield when issuing statements supporting these actions of terrorists. We need to learn who are terrorist supporters so that we don't hire them at our big companies. Well, lucky for him, John Hassan over here at Town Hall has named all of the students inside of the terrorist supporting student groups. Check this out. Meet the Harvard students supporting Hamas invasion of Israel. Harvard, Hamas. Hamas, Harvard. Yes, that goes well together. In the wake of the brutal attacks in Israel, 34 Harvard student organizations signed a joint statement blaming Israel for the attacks, expressing support for Palestine. We, the undersigned student organizations, hold the Israeli regime entirely responsible for the unfolding violence. Got it! Oh man, subtlety, not an issue. Here, the apartheid regime is the only one to blame. Israeli violence has structured every aspect of Palestinian existence for 75 years. So it's amazing what happens when you actually start naming people, like here, the Harvard Undergraduate Nepali Student Organization. Here are the people who are in that. I'm not going to say any of these names because, well, can't pronounce some of them. But what's interesting is that once you actually name the people and they are not hiding behind the shield of their organization, well, they begin to melt like a popsicle on the surface of the sun. After Town Hall ID'd the board members, the Harvard Undergraduate Nepali Student Association has withdrawn its signature from the pro-Hamas letter. It gets even better. So there's now a doxing truck driving around Harvard showing the names and photos of students who blamed Israel for the Hamas attack. Pretty awesome. This is the doxing truck. Hamas Harvard, the truck driving around with the lettering saying Harvard's leading anti-Semites on the truck. There it is. And they have the photos of the students and their names. Pretty incredible. Way to go. This is what you get for standing with terrorists. I'm not arguing that their speech should be illegal. I'm not even saying censor them. Let them keep talking. I'm saying that your actions have consequences. And free speech has consequences. Free speech doesn't mean consequence-free speech. If you say something dumb, you're going to get ratioed, baby. And you may lose your career. Israeli billionaires donated more than $20 million to the last capital campaign for Harvard Kennedy School. Now they've just announced they are quitting the school's board after Harvard's shocking response to Hamas's mass butchery of civilians. Bill Ackman is demanding the names of pro-Hamas students, blacklist them from Wall Street. Wharton megaboner Mark Rowan publicly called for donors to close their checkbook. Hamas's hideous brutality and the academics' less equally hideous support of it have finally opened many eyes to the truth on American campuses. Good. Good. Put on the show, baby. Keep going. Keep going. Josh Hawley, great senator, is calling for a DOJ investigation into pro-Palestinian groups on college campuses, with protests leaving students sobbing in the Seattle campus, Harvard blaming Hamas attack on Israel. I don't know about this, but maybe. I don't know, maybe. Josh Hawley called for the Department of Justice to investigate pro-Palestinian groups on campus. Listen, man, these people just went and slaughtered a bunch of Americans. Maybe you have the take that I do, which is like, let Israel sort out its own internal issues. Because this is an internal issue, because there's no such thing as Palestine. There's no such thing as Palestine. It's not a real place. It's like a name made up by the Romans. There's no such thing. The land, all land for all peoples have been swapped and exchanged throughout history. Suck it up. That's just how it works, man. There is no inherent right to a land and a place. Like, you roll the dice, people get conquered, people get pushed elsewhere. Literally how it happened. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's reality. And the world's a complicated place. And so, and America's a complicated place, right? So it's like, you know, you can have this argument, but it is an internal issue because there is no such thing as Palestine. Israel is its own nation, and the West Bank and Gaza are within that country. That's why they get their water and food and electricity from Israel. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm in favor of Israel dealing with their own internal issues. Much like, you know, America has to deal with our own internal strife seemingly every single election season, right? Their new PSYOP that rolls around. But, dude, like, if you're going to cheer on the murder of Americans by terrorist group, then you deserve to be investigated by the DOJ. I believe that. 100%. So this is the president of Harvard. New message from Harvard president Claudine Gay. Our university embraces a commitment to free expression. That commitment expands even the views of many find objectionable, even outrageous. We do not punish or sanction people for expressing such views. Look at this. Isn't that perfect? Isn't this perfect? What if you went back to like the founders of Harvard and said that some woke, bespectacled goof is going to be the president of Harvard someday? They'd be like, I don't even want to. This was a mistake. We've made a horrible mistake. But yeah, the president of Harvard. Literally, look at those glasses. That's unbelievable. That's ridiculous. Cerno says laughable. Harvard supports Hamas, not free speech. Ask conservatives how they get treated on campus. That's exactly right. Do you have freedom to be a Trump supporter on campus? What's wrong with your glasses? Give me a break. Suddenly, it's become very important that people have freedom to say outrageous, offensive things. Yeah, that's right. These are the same people that would run. That run entire federally funded operation. Harvard has like 20 organizations to go after disinformation, right? To censor your speech. And here's the president of Harvard being like, well, all speech is important. Shut up! God, I'm sick of these people. It's getting crazy out there. Stanford instructor removed for targeting Jewish students as colonizers after Hamas attacks on Israel. Stanford officials also criticized for neutral language in initially failing to unambiguously condemn Hamas. So apparently some professor asked all the Jews to like get up and stand in the corner. An instructor at Stanford University has been suspended for what the president called identity-based targeting of students in connection with Israel-Gaza war. Was told this. Okay, so the director of the Jewish Center said he was told by 3 students who were in the room that the instructor asked Jewish and Israeli students to identify themselves during the lesson that for a required undergraduate course called Civil, Liberal, and Global Education. Dude, don't ever go to a course like that. You know exactly what poison that is. Directly into your brainstem for these young kids. This is like an indoctrination course, total Orwellian indoctrination course. Global education. What is it? Oh, I wonder what the global education is going to be about. The teacher told the Jewish students to take their belongings, stand in the corner, and said, this is what Israel is doing to Palestinians. Got it. How many people died in the Holocaust? When students answered 6 million, the lecturer said, colonizers killed more than 6 million. Israel is a colonizer. Stanford president and provost sent a letter to the university on Wednesday and mentioned the removal of the instructor for teaching duties, but did not provide details of the incident. Oh my, oh my. Well, well, well. So that's what you're gonna get right there. That's what you're paying for. If you F-A, you will F-O. And this is what it sounds like to F-O. Keeping destruction.
This isn't about what happened on
the natalist
why can't they just go up there?
That for some reason you think that these people were ever going to be on your side. They're not on your side. BLM sided with the terrorists. BLM was a terrorist organization from the start, and now they are simply behaving as such. Gotta be super careful. You gotta be super careful about where you step right now. And thank God there's finally a backlash for having these utterly repugnant views. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, subscribe to End the Communism. That is, of course, wrecking the globe. See ya.